Folks, as you can see, I'm here in Las Vegas for CES 2025, and I just got out of Lenovo's press briefing, and I really liked the laptops that they showed. I wasn't going to make a dedicated video on their offering, but they have so many new and exciting laptops here for 2025. So with that said, I thought I'd hop online today and just tell you what they have. The first thing they have is updates to the Yoga 9i range. That includes the 2-in-1, which is the tablet laptop convertible, the traditional clamshell model, and the Yoga Book. All of the Yoga 9i's have been updated with Lunar Lake, and they continue to have those beautiful 3K OLED displays. But there's a lot more when we delve in deeper. Firstly, the Slim 9i, which appears to be a completely new laptop with a new chassis. Wow, this has to be one of the best laptops that I've seen here for CES in 2025. It just looks so stunning. It has a screen-to-body ratio of 98%. I mean, that's just almost edge to edge. And the laptop is tiny. I mean, look how much smaller it is, and it has a 14-inch display next to the 2-in-1 with a 14-inch display. That's the older chassis. Now, they've even said that compared to a MacBook Air, which has a smaller 13.6-inch display, this laptop with its 14-inch display is actually smaller as a whole. That being said, compared to the MacBook Air, one thing I did notice is when you feel below the laptop, typical thing for Josh to do, me here speaking in the third person, is it doesn't feel quite as well built as a MacBook Air. Continuing though with the comparisons to the MacBook Air, the keyboard though on the Slim 9i is just superb. It's one of the great Lenovo keyboards. It has 1.5 millimeters of key travel. And I said I was comparing it to the MacBook Air because that laptop has very low key travel and it just doesn't feel that comfortable to type on. Now, on the trackpad of the laptop, unfortunately it isn't a haptic one. The product manager was there, who actually is subscribed and watches the channel. What he did tell me is they have actually improved the trackpad from, say, the Slim 7X, which is also a super thin Yoga laptop. That's the one with the Qualcomm processor. That was a great laptop, very high quality, but its premium feel was just brought down by the fact it had this just, I don't know, cheap feeling trackpad. When you clicked it, your fingers just depressed a lot, and also there was this really loud, annoying click. So this one does have a better trackpad. Now you have two USB Thunderbolt ports, one on either side, left and right, so you can charge on either side, which is nice, but obviously this isn't a laptop with a lot of ports. Other than this, you might notice that there's no webcam. The webcam in this laptop is actually behind the display. So, you know, the laptop looks fantastic, but I don't know how good the webcam quality is going to be. And obviously laptops tend to have pretty bad webcams. So anyway, we'll have to get this laptop in for a full review. But I must say, it is probably one of the best devices I've seen. It's just, guys, I mean, it looks fantastic. In fact, I haven't even told you about this. There's kind of this mirror glass looking lid that it has, and it still feels super light, but it just makes this laptop look so special in this kind of, I think it was like a pale blue color is how I would, describe it. But compared to every other laptop I've seen, I mean, this one just looks like a standout. And then there is the Yoga Book 9i. So this is the one that has the two folding screens, and then it would have the wireless keyboard you'd place in front of it and that crazy origami stand. Now, it's actually being updated with two material changes. One, it's got the Arrow Lake H processor inside, so it should be a lot more powerful, and the displays are no longer 13.3 inches. We've now got two 14-inch panels, so that is a lot of screen real estate when you open up those two displays. Now, the next laptop I saw was very interesting. It's the ThinkBook Plus Gen 6. Basically, you press a button on the keyboard and the laptop's display extends vertically up, making the panel much larger. Honestly, guys, this could be a very good device for someone like a programmer who wants to see a lot of code going down the page. Now, being me, I was already starting to think, what kind of issues would this have? So the first thing I thought was that the whole thing would topple over if I push on the screen. So I tried that. Actually, it's pretty sturdy. The only other issue that kind of immediately jumps to mind is that, if you're sitting opposite someone like in a coffee store or a meeting room and you want to have that face-to-face connectivity, having the display that's just so tall, is probably going to block that. And finally, I did feel how heavy it was. I thought this would be quite a heavy laptop, and it is more weighty, but I wouldn't say it's extremely heavy. It's still quite portable. Next up is the Legion gaming range. Obviously big updates for 2025. Most of these have been refreshed with new processors and graphics, but the Legion Pro 7i specifically has what I would consider a new redesigned chassis with a new thermal exhaust on the back. And when it comes to the Legion Pro 7i, it's also got the best display. An OLED panel up to 240Hz on the refresh rate and 500 nits of brightness. It comes with an Intel Arrow Lake HX processor, unfortunately no AMD option, which is a bit disappointing, and of course it goes right up to an RTX 5090. Moving slightly down the range, we have the Legion Pro 5i and 5. 5i means Intel, 5 means AMD. Now both of these do have OLED panels, but this time only up to 165Hz refresh rate. This kind of makes sense because these GPUs only go up to a 5070 Ti for the Intel model, which is with Arrow Lake HX by the way, and 5070 for the AMD model, which comes with the Ryzen 9 9955HX processor. Both these OLED panels go up to 500 nits in terms of brightness. Moving down to the bottom end of the Legion range, we have the Legion 5 and 5i, the cheaper versions. These are 15-inch laptops, not like 16-inch laptops of the Legion Pro 5 and Pro 5i. Anyway, these still have OLED displays, still 165Hz refresh rate, but they only go up to 400 nits of brightness. Both these laptops, the Intel and AMD version of the Legion 5, they go up to an RTX 5070. The Intel model still has an Arrow Lake HX processor, but this time the AMD model has a lesser processor from the Kraken Point range, the AI7 350. Again, it's unfortunate to keep seeing AMD Legions being nuked. Overall, I am excited about these Legions, but the gaming space is competitive, and compared to some other gaming laptops that I've seen, it is disappointing to not see Thunderbolt 5 on any of these laptops, and only the Pro 7i gets a PCIe 5 SSD slot, one out of the two. Other gaming laptops that I've seen have both SSD slots being PCIe 5. Alright, and the final laptop that they showed that I thought was just absolutely worth telling you about is a new ThinkPad series called the X9. Now, prepare to gasp, folks. I know a lot of people are going to get very frustrated about this, but I actually really like it. This new series does not have the traditional ThinkPad red track point. I hate to say it, I'm going to get crushed by saying this, and I said this honestly in my X1 Carbon review, but I just think by having the track point, it actually makes the trackpad worse because that track point has its two left and right buttons above the trackpad, making it smaller. And my fingers, I'm a trackpad user, just kept hitting the top. There are a bunch of people who don't use the track point, particularly now in today's day and age, and they don't need to have the trackpad experience made worse. I get that people love the red track point, traditional ThinkPad users, don't worry, it's not going anywhere. In all the other ThinkPads, it will still be there. But I do like this decision because I think it opens up that fantastic ThinkPad brand for other buyers who just don't use that kind of thing. And just as a little historical lesson, at least according to me, what I've experienced, I think the track point was very important when trackpads were terrible, but now they're great. And this one, by the way, has haptic trackpads. I say two because there's a 14-inch and a 15-inch version of this laptop. So that's all just good stuff. Now, the other thing that I thought was really good about this new ThinkPad is it's going to use a webcam that's much higher quality. Apparently, it's using a webcam like your smartphone has. I mean, we've been waiting for that for ages, so I'm really looking forward to getting all these new laptops in, but specifically that clamshell, the Slim 9i, oh, that looks so good, and then these new ThinkPads. Well, with that said, if you're looking to buy a laptop right now, check out our website, justjosh.tech, that has all the laptops we recommend for various types of users and where to go to get the best deals on them. Get subscribed with the notification bell on because all of us are working super hard to find you the most interesting new laptops being announced here at CES in 2025. Actually, just one more thing before I go. I did hear a rumor that one of my favorite laptops of 2024 is being updated. It wasn't announced here at CES, but I did, as I said, hear the rumor and I want to share it. The Yoga Pro 9i 16-inch. That laptop was the one to get if you just wanted a laptop that could do everything, but you didn't want to compromise. It had a powerful CPU, it had dedicated graphics up to a 4060 here in the US, 4070 internationally. It had this beautiful mini LED fast refresh rate high resolution display. Great laptop for coders, you could see small text nice and crisp, it had a powerful dedicated GPU, so good for content creation, and also you could do some gaming with its fast refresh rate display. As I said, someone who just didn't want to sacrifice anything but still wanted some portability. Well, in 2025, rumor is that it's going to be updated with Arrow Lake. Internationally, you'll get it up to an RTX 5070, here in the US up to a 5060. Guys, I did beg them, please put in a 5070 here in the USA. People love this laptop, I love this laptop. Anyway, you didn't hear this from me, Josh out.